Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube? This is Samuel Leggett representing JVS. So I am here for another movie review. This is a movie review for a movie that I really didn't have any expectation for. I had just seen that Shia LaBeouf was starring in it. It looked very interesting based on the trailer, and I'm talking about the Peanut Butter Falcon. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if I can't say anything else, the movie allows me to be able to have fun with the idea of what's really happening. Just even the name Peanut Butter Falcon. Like when I got into the movie, I was like, I didn't even remember what the name of the movie was. But I will never forget what Peanut Butter Falcon actually means. I'll never forget the character of Zach. I'll never forget the character of Tyler. I never forget all these different kind of characters that were established and written very well, because each time that a character's name was brought up, or each time that there was a situation that was kind of happening, there's enough time for me to be able to recollect it in my head and in my heart and establish, like, oh wow, I remember this, I got this. Even the cast is very interesting, but let me slow down. Let me slow down for a second. The director for this one is Tyler Nielsen. Tyler, he's only directed 3 films. All 3 of them were shorts. This is his first feature film of long length. The premise of this is Zach, who is played by, actually Zach, it's actually his real name, Gaskin, runs away from his care home to make his dream of becoming a wrestler come true. Now, Zach, he has Down syndrome. Then you have Shia LaBeouf, Dakota Fanning, John Hawkes, Thomas Hayden Church, Bruce Dern, John Bernthal, Yellow Wolf, and some interesting other names. One huge wrestler that I am a huge fan of Mick Foley. I was like, when I saw him, I was like, that's Mick Foley, oh my gosh. So I kind of geeked out about that. But Shia LaBeouf's character is kind of a guy that, I don't want to say he's on the run, but he's kind of running from himself in so many different respects. Like, he's doing things and he's just kind of aimlessly moving and maneuvering. And they do a really good job of carefully sculpting his character and kind of putting a definition to it. Matter of fact, there's an open line of dialogue between Zach and Shia LaBeouf's character Tyler, where they were talking about, like, you know, who's a good guy, who's a bad guy, and, you know, Tyler, like, said to Zach, like, this is who you are. And then Zach openly asked the question, who are you? And it's kind of like we are brought along through the travels of Zach in his, you know, excursion to try to be a wrestler, but very much so Tyler in being a human being and being a brother and being all these other kind of things. And they do a lot of really good jobs as far as painting a picture of kind of his past with certain moments of flash of memories, and when he wakes up from a dream. And I think that a lot of the cinematography is done very well. There's a really well executed scene that takes place in the water, like a swimming scene, and like there's an overcast like shot, and I was kind of like, yo, like I felt like real worry, fear, and at the same exact time I felt so much joy. I felt so much like, man, this is really funny. This is not just a coming of age story. Like, this is a kinship thing that's actually happening. And then it's kind of a trifecta, because then you have Dakota Johnson's character, who's Eleanor, who is also connected to Zach because she's also connected to the program that's trying to, you know, do certain things. I don't want to spoil. But Dakota Johnson does a really good job as well. I think that her and Shia has really good chemistry, but she can articulate so many different things with just a look that, I mean, I think a lot of people take for granted just because of the movies that she's been in. I'm talking about, you know, yeah, 50 Shades, all that stuff. But she does a really good job of being the sister figure, the mother figure, and at the same time, like, the caregiver on so many different levels. But it's like Shia's character and her character are both caregivers in so many different respects to Zach, but just giving him 2 different things. I think that the best thing I can think of is Mahershala's character in Moonlight. That would be kind of the way I would kind of look at Shia's character for Zach, but on a different kind of scale. It's very different and it's very nuanced. It's not heavy acted, but it's enough that I kind of was like, man, I feel for this and I really enjoy this. Like, not so much like you hit me with this wave of emotions, like this is the best acted thing like ever. Like, no, it's not that. Like, this very much so has a lot of hidden funny moments, hitting sad moments, hitting moments that you just don't expect of worry and concern, like for physical safety, and at the same time, like, man, what would I do in this kind of situation? Not just that. One of the other things about this film in the beginning of it, which I think that's why is a credit to directing, is I couldn't peg where this was taking place, and I couldn't peg the era. And I don't want to spoil what era this is taking place, but the location is in North Carolina. That is, you know, most of my family in my hometown, or not hometown, home city, home state, North Carolina. And I was like, man, I really am loving this. And the other part of that, it would be definitely the connection to bluegrass and like this, the score. The score is actually done very well. It's very simplistic, but at the same time very meaningful. And again, I talked about a lot of other characters or other actors, and John Hawkes does a pretty good job for what they give him. I think they could have done so much more with him, honestly. He's kind of more of a one note, which I think is the detriment of the movie. Thomas Hayden Church actually really loved him. The saltwater redneck, it was hilarious. Bruce Dern doesn't get much of anything, and John Bernthal doesn't get much of anything, but the moments that they do have are significant and mean something, I guess is a big way of putting it. But yeah, that's pretty much as far as the actors and as far as the progression. Now, the story, I think the story serves pretty well, but in the third act, there's something that happens that I don't want to say it hurts the movie, but I think it doesn't help the movie. In the third act, there's something literally like it's kind of like it's going, and all of a sudden it stops. And when it stops, like it's kind of like, whoa, okay, man, all right, we're going here. Wait, what? Movie's over? Wait, what? And that's literally kind of how it goes. And I think that it would have benefited from not being necessarily long. It could have been like 15 more minutes longer, yeah. But I think that the only thing they really needed was a little bit of exposition. I think they need a little bit of character development of, specifically, in my personal opinion, the one that got undercut the most, which would be John Hawkes' character in the role of Duncan. I think that they could have done so much more with him as such a good high caliber actor, or even like kind of refine Shia's character in conjunction with John Bernthal, or just kind of giving a little bit more of closure. I think they try to peg this movie kind of like a short film, honestly, just the way that it kind of preemptively just stops. But I think that if there's just a little bit more exposition, just a little bit more just words or dialogue or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it could have been a good moment for Zach to have like this intimate conversation. Think Stranger Things season 3, the way that it ends, like something like that. It would have helped service the film in the long run. But I still say that this is a good film. I give it like a 7.5 out of 10. I was thinking a 7, but honestly, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I actually, for the most part, the most of the movie, I was very much so laughing, had fun, and I really did enjoy it. But I definitely recommend you go and check it out. The Peanut Butter Falcon, you will not forget it, and I think you have a fun time with it. But just keep your expectations tailored towards the third act of just kind of how it just preemptively ends. I think if you keep that in consideration, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. Please make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that little bell button. When you hit the bell button, make sure you go and take this up to from personalized to all. That really help us out a lot, and you can also make sure you get updated with all the reviews that are coming. We also have just created a brand new channel, and I'll leave that in the description bar below. And if you love reactions, I think you're gonna love it. That's all I can really say. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Y'all have a blessed night. Peanut Butter Falcon, everybody. Go check it out. Peace, guys.